purpose of that fact, we're going to head on stage. Pyrotechnics is standing by with Evil and Peke.
Thank you very much, Quickshot. And on a magical occasion such as this, I only thought it was going to be fit to bring both of you guys in. And what an end to that series. Definitely took a little while getting there, but wow is all I can say. I suppose it seems, Peke, you've been training power pretty well. But let's get right into it. How do you keep your mental fortitude in an 80-minute game? The longest, by the way, in EU LCS history.
Well, for me, honestly, at some point, after the second or third try, I just thought the game was never going to end. So I was thinking, okay, the game is going to be like this for 2 hours until someone makes a mistake. So at some point, I got pretty relaxed because I knew we couldn't finish, but they couldn't finish. So I was like, okay, so let's just keep playing it, and at some point, we will get all the innings, and the creeps will be so strong, we might finish.
For me, it was actually a little bit the opposite, because I was actually nervous because in this kind of particular game, if it's so long, one mistake will lose you the game or win you the game. And you could see, like, when I died, they tried to finish the game. When we killed Victor on top lane, we tried to finish the game. And it's like really intense. But as Peke said, like they could not really leave the base, and we didn't really let them leave the base. And it was like an endless game going on. And I agree that I was not thinking that this game will end so soon as well.
Yeah, well, and of course, when it finally happens, it's definitely got to be abrupt. It was such a different game from the first series. You know, you got hit pretty hard in the jaw right there at 30.5. And why was this game so different, in your opinion?
Well, so I think our biggest comeback was when they catched one of us. I can't remember who. They tried to go for the Baron, and we got the catch on the Victor. I think out-rotated them really heavily and sneaked the Baron. And that was like a huge power spike because of the Baron we got 2 inner turrets, and that was an insanely global gold lead we got.
Yeah, and you certainly made it work for you. You guys got an incredible number of objectives, just continuing to roll it forward. I was actually going to ask you, but you got like 15 inhibs on the game. It was pretty insane, but after a roller coaster and a finish to take a 1-1 against FNATIC, one of the best teams here in Europe. Peke, I just got to ask you, as you know, kind of the big rep for the team, is this where you guys start to turn your season around?
Well, hopefully, yeah. It's hard to tell because obviously we still play both games. The problem was the early was not optimal. We were a bit behind, and then we just made mistakes. The difference is that this game, even though we were behind, like he said, they made a mistake, and we were able to come back into the game. And once we were back, we kind of know how to play the game. Like we know what we had to play for, how to do it. It's slower, faster. Once you're ahead, it's easier. But we had to still improve early. And I think that if we managed to get better early games, we could turn it around, yeah.
Well, it's encouraging to see. Thanks again for taking the time, gentlemen. Congratulations on winning that last hell of a game and taking a tie on the series. Good luck to you tomorrow against Splice. Now, though, we are going to send it back to the analyst desk to break down what is one of the craziest games we've ever seen here in Europe.
Thank you, and I couldn't be happier that I'm joined here by Febiven and Perks to break down that game, because Perks was, how should I say it, excited until the very end about this match.
Very excited. It was a very fun game to watch. Joke, it wasn't.
So Febiven, obviously, tell us a little bit about just how long this game went and how your mindset changed throughout the craziness.
I don't know, it felt like in the game I was already doing a lot of mistakes personally, which kind of cost us the game. I was struggling a lot, and then in late game I made mistakes as well, and then I don't know, we just couldn't do anything because they kept backdooring our inhibitors and we couldn't leave our base, and they had 3 inhibs, and then Nash and Drake was up, and then they come again. So at one point our turrets are just dead and we can't do anything.
Did you never think you could win?
No, of course, I thought I could win all the time, but
okay.
I already knew I messed up a lot in the game, so yeah.
It was, there was a lot of moments late into the game where we were looking at it and we're like, oh, FNATIC got the win, oh. And I guess the question on a lot of people's minds now, especially the casters, because they've never seen it either, the ZZ Rot buys, where you sell an item, place it down, buy it. Was that something that you guys have done before, or is that something somebody in the game was just like, hey, we've got the gold, we can do it?
Yeah, we just adapted in the game. My top laner says, everyone sell your item, buy ZZ Rot, put it, and then, yeah, it just helped, I guess, a bit.
Perks said, I think they're...
I mean, that item triggers me, because if you buy an item and you place it on the ground and you sell it and it still works, then something is wrong, you know, because it made the game 20 minutes longer or something.
Which is great. It means that we had the longest game in the European LCS, 80 minutes, 28 seconds. The second longest was OG Giants, I think.
And
from
we
this
were
split. It's always OG.
we were 9 seconds off an LCS record.
Damn it.
NA still holds it.
Does that make you happy, Febvin? At least the longest game record plus the CS records. You
No.
broke all of them.
I really don't care. I'm just really disappointed that I let my team down and not performing as good, because I know I should be able to win these games for my team, and we should win as a team. So I don't know. I just a bit sad at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think that's the right approach, to be honest, because you guys could have gotten first place over G2 if you had won this game. So overall, with this loss in mind, how do you think your team's doing and how much you're off from G2 in that first place?
No, I don't think we really care about being number 1, number 2, number 3. At least if we just get in the playoff, it's fine for us. Like, we know we're gonna work towards that, and I don't know, we're just practicing every week, like trying to get better. And I don't think we take these losses that hard. But yeah, if you lose an 80-minute game, then it can. I don't know.
Perks, can you give any words of comfort to, I know your friend, but also a competitor? If you would have been in that position, what can you tell yourself?
I mean, I would feel really bad if I lost. I mean, but only for like 1 hour or something. And then it's just a regular season, so it doesn't actually matter if you lose the game, because you just take it as a learning experience. Like, we lost to Schalke today, second game, pretty convincingly. They just like rolled over us in 40 minutes or something, but we just know like what champs are good that they played now and what we did wrong early game, and we just take it as learning experience and play towards playoffs, like you said, because like regular season like doesn't really matter. You just play to learn, get better, and then in playoffs you show them who's the best.
All right, good one on that. Our
Me.
player, the spirits are being lifted already. The player of the game, however, amazing in this one. Obviously, OG taking game 2 and amazing. And that is not amazing, is it? Oh, yes, it is. I thought it was someone else, the picture. But after a game like that, can you really, could you make out that amazing was the biggest factor in winning this, or is it just the way the game went? It could have been anyone.
Yeah, because amazing was like 5-0-2 in first 20 minutes or something like that. So he was carrying the early game pretty hard, and that's the only reason why Origin was even so ahead of FNATIC. Like if and they see had like struggles close in the game, it lasted like 80 minutes and they backdoor it. So if it wasn't for Amazing's early game, I think FNATIC would have just won because they have better carry players. So yeah.
Okay, rightful player of the game. And while that slugfest was underway here in the arena, Roccat, they picked up an important win from the Unicorns of Love. One-on-one over there, the UOL versus Roccat. Betsy was the player of the game, playing Varus Flash. Ghost?
Yeah, that goes. And honestly, a lot of it was because of partnerships of Airwax. We took a moment to speak to Vedius. That was his big takeaway from the game. Betsy, Airwax working together, got Rocket at least one win in that series.
Yeah, that was like 2 hours ago, though.
Yeah,
for now, though, it is time to look towards our final fight of the day, where Splice will go at it against H2K. Our coverage of the European LCS continues right after this.
Gift you, Gamsu. Gift? Be my friend, I gift you.